I, 25F, got kicked out of my house 6 years ago when my mother, 45F, and stepdad, 49M, had my half-sister. My mother had me when she was young, under pressure from her strict family who forced her to go through with the pregnancy. She has always resented me for being born, which she reminded me of constantly. My father was a much better, dealing with drug and gambling addictions, and barely able to take care of himself, let alone me. When I was 15, my mother started dating Jeffrey, who was indifferent towards me, which was an improvement. They married when I was 17 and had my half-sister when I was 19. My grandparents, who had been financially supporting us, had a falling out with my mother, which cut off that support. My mother, needing space for the new baby and nanny, told me I had to move out because I was an adult and she needed her privacy. I had nowhere to go. My dad's situation was dire. He was deep into his addictions, living in a filthy apartment, and not able to hold a job. Despite this, I moved in with him, determined to improve our lives. I managed to get internships to support us while trying to get my dad to clean up his act. It was tough, and he relapsed several times, but I persisted. 3 years ago, my friend Eddie offered me a job through her father's expanding business, and I also got a position for my dad. This opportunity turned our lives around. We moved into a better house. My dad cleaned up his act, and we both held stable jobs. 2 weeks ago, my mother contacted me, desperate for help. She and Jeffrey had gone broke, their business failing, and they were deep in debt. She asked me to help pay off their debts, not even apologizing for how she had treated me. Feeling petty, I pretended to agree to help, but I had no intention of actually giving her money. After leading her on for a while, I told her the truth that I wasn't going to help her, reminded her of her cruelty, and then exposed her online. I posted my entire story, including her recent plea for help. My dad thinks I went too far and should have ignored her from the start instead of leading her on. He believes I should apologize, but I felt that exposing her was justified after everything she put me through. After talking to my dad, he understood my actions came from a place of long-standing anger and resentment. It wasn't the right or moral thing to do, but it was an outlet for my frustration. My mother never apologized for her behavior, and while my actions were cruel, they were a response to her lifelong cruelty towards me.